Good morning, Zio here, and if you haven't already liked the video, go ahead and do that. Hit the subscribe button, slap that notification bell because, I guess people do that. I don't. I'm a weird one. I hate notifications on my phone. Anyway, share the video around, all that good jazz. And today we talk about something that I haven't talked about since last year, so go ahead and grab yourself a cup of coffee, because you're going to need it. We're talking about Google Stadia, because apparently not all is great in paradise right now. Let's get into it. Google Stadia has released this blog post, explaining what to expect through the upcoming years and stuff, or the upcoming year anyway. Pretty much all those broken promises that they haven't delivered yet, the stuff that they were advertising and running on that they have yet to deliver, all that good stuff that they are going to continue to promise, and I guess time will tell if they actually deliver this time. But we did talk about several things, like earlier on this channel last year, like how Google Stadia could be dead on arrival based on several things that we knew at the time. And that was, if I remember correctly, that was a few days before it actually launched, because for the most part I hadn't actually heard about it up until that point. I don't think heard about it and was like, oh, I should look into this because that sounds like that would be really cool. It's a great idea, especially for somebody like me. I was thinking my hard drive is full. I need to either upgrade that hard drive, buy an external, buy a second hard drive, something. I'm gonna have to expand my memory, right? And if I can get set up in a way where my games are streaming, that might actually be a better way for me to go about, instead of having a full couple of terabytes that are nothing but games, which would leave space for everything else, video editing and other stuff, movies, TV shows, whatever else I've got on this thing, right? My emulators, things like that. And it would leave me plenty of space to do whatever with, because then I wouldn't have to. And then as the more I looked into it, well, the more it made me take pause and go, this may not work so well as I was kind of hoping it would. So we talked about how it would be dead on arrival, or could be dead on arrival. We talked about, what was it? The fact that it's a laggy mess. I think the best way to experience any of the titles that they have to offer at this particular moment, or at that current moment, of course, was using a Pixel phone, which was apparently the only way to do it with the least amount of input lag available. And when you got games like Destiny and stuff that require you to be, pretty on point with what you're doing, any kind of input lag is detrimental to the game. And that was people who had way more than enough internet to, sustain whatever their recommendations were. We talked about 4K and not a single game was actually running 4K. They were running 1080, upscaled. They looked bad. Even games that natively have 4K capabilities on the Xbox, on the PlayStation, and the PC, they still did not have 4K on the Stadia for some reason, when, in my opinion, what Stadia is doing, and if they're going to run all the hardware and stuff, they probably should have the PC builds of whatever game that they're streaming to everybody. Just saying, so it should be on par with any other PC, like my rig, but it's not. We talked about all that. We talked about them, having their neutral controller that apparently is going to save gaming or whatever, save the Stadia, because apparently not enough women are playing games, because, controllers only come in black and white, and that is apparently off-putting to women who want to play games because they're only in black and white. That's black, by the way. You can't tell it. I know it looks blue, but this is a black controller. Anyway, because apparently they're the first people to ever think that colors or controllers should come in other colors. We talked about that, of course. And today we're talking about this blog post right here. Google Stadia pretty much going, hey, here's all our promises that we're going to promise you and totally not break at all for this following year, even though we've broken all the other promises that we've offered you, and we didn't launch with it, and our launch was horrible, and we promised all these things at launch, but you're not launching with it, and essentially you're in some kind of glorified beta process that you paid $30 for. So, yeah, when Stadia launched in November, we delivered a great gaming experience for players. Great gaming experience for players. Yeah, that was totally great. Fantastic. Awesome work, guys. Keep it up. Anyway, as we continue to work towards our long-term visions for the future of gaming, Stadia is an evolving platform. We've been busy in the 2 months since launch, adding great content, features, and ways to play. Among others, we have added more great games to the Stadia library, including 6 titles to Stadia Pro. Never mind the fact that most of these games are super old. There's one exclusive, which is an indie, and it doesn't exactly sell units. I'm sorry. Some indie games are super great, and they hit it big, like, Super Meat Boy or whoever. But at the same time, indie developers don't move units because they're unknowns. So if my choice is to buy Stadia just to see the one indie title on it versus not buying Stadia at all, I'm gonna not buy Stadia. Just saying. Anyway, welcome to Typhoon Studios, to our Stadia games and entertainment family. Yes, they're also gonna work on some first-party stuff, by the way. So that might be something that they actually do and make Stadia worth anything at that point. Update all Chromecast Ultra so you can play Stadia on more screens. That's another part where I think it's sort of a mess. Their advertisement is to play anywhere, play on anything. I should be able to play on this monitor. I can play on that monitor. I can play on that monitor. I can play on the TV in there. I can play on the TV in there. I can play on my phone, wherever that happens to be. I should be able to play anywhere, any screen whatsoever. However, there are loops that you have to jump through. One, you have to own a Chromecast. That's kind of like having to buy a system. Just saying. Anyway, a really cheap one, but one nonetheless. It should be an app of some kind. Yeah. But that's just me. Anyway, and of course the only phones that you can play on are Pixels right now, so... Anyway, roll out more features to Stadia, including Google Assistant functionality and achievements. Probably something that should have already been there, and considering they advertised with a lot of these features, and most of these features don't exist right now, could be why people aren't so happy with it. Deliver a multiplayer first for games with Stream Connect debut in Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Anyway, surprise Stadia founders with a second Buddy Pass to game with more of their friends. Oh my gosh, I can give you a Buddy Pass. Another one. I mean, it's not like I didn't use the first one anyway, but I could use the second one because people just jump at wanting to use Stadia. Nobody cares about your second Buddy Pass. Okay, I take it back. Somebody out there probably does care. There's somebody out there gaming with the second Buddy Pass, and they're having a fantastic time, I'm sure. It's not many of us. Anyway, we have a lot more planned, and we'll continue to work hard towards delighting gamers with our vision of Stadia. Looking for our upcoming lineup, we are tracking more than 120 games coming in Stadia in 2020. By the way, they also had to release like another 12 or so before they finally launched, or right after launch, or something like that. I don't really remember. It's kind of fuzzy. It was from last year, and I've slept since then. It's been a year. Anyway... And, they were saying, yeah, these are going to come in first quarter or second quarter or something like that. And then, boom, out of nowhere, they're like, oh, by the way, we have all these games now. Oh, and Borderlands is going to be 3 patches behind, or 3 months worth of patches, or 2 months worth of patches behind everybody else. But it's there. Good job. Anyway. And we are targeting more than 10 games in the first half of the year alone that will be only available on Stadia when they launch. So they're pulling an Epic exclusive thing right here, which, you know, I don't think Epic has really pushed a whole lot when it comes to grabbing up all the indie titles. And they're going to have to compete with Epic too doing that, so, you know. But again, indie titles don't sell games, or don't sell, you know, systems. And Epic, of course, I don't have to pay for Epic to get, so, you know, there's that too. Anyway, we're working with our partners to share more on these games soon. Gamers can expect more features coming to Stadia in Q1 and beyond. You know, I could have swore that our audience wasn't gamers. You know, I've like read articles and things from them throughout the past year, or last quarter of last year or whatever, where gamers are not their customer base, right? And it always begged the question, who is your customer base? Because your system is definitely geared towards gamers, but gamers are not your customer base. Okay. Anyway, they didn't really say that outright, by the way. That's just how it comes across. If anyone wants to go, well, they never actually said gamers. Yeah, we got it. We got it. Anyway, but yeah, gamers are their customer base. I guess they're not going to try and hide that fact anymore. But a key benefit of our platform is that we can add these features without any updates or downloads, and we're starting to roll out the following over the next 3 months. Support for 4K gaming on the web, something that we actually promised from the start, is finally coming to the system. Whoa! Anyway, add further assistance functionality when playing on the web, support additional Android phones. Oh, thank gosh. Please set me up so I can play your stupid thing on my phone. For the love of all that is holy, thank Talos. Anyway, wireless gameplay on the web through the Stadia controller. Woo! Wireless controllers. That's also another thing that they said that was going to happen. They weren't wireless, by the way. When they first launched, they all were wired, I believe. There's a lot more in store for this year. In the meantime, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. Nobody cares at this point anyway. But some of the people who have made an early bet on Google's ambitions attempt to revolutionize video games are losing patience. By the way, Xbox is doing a much better job, and they haven't hid the fact that, you know, this is kind of a beta tryout thing. So you're welcome to join in if you want to for X price or whatever. And, you know, we're working on it, we're tweaking on it. Google, on the other hand, was like, hey, this is launch and we're launching it now, it's going to be great. And then, yeah, anyway. But yeah, 2 months later, Stadia's early adopters are starting to revolt, apparently. And you know, you may not be. That's fine. If you're one of the one of the people who really enjoy Stadia, you may not actually be revolting or whatever. But there's a lot of people on the Reddit threads where a lot of loyal Stadia customers are. They're the ones who show up to my video and like 15 people downvote it because everybody hates the fact that I've shed on, you know, Stadia for whatever reason. Then nobody else sees it, but like 2 people thumbs it up. Yeah, this up anyway. But yeah, I've lost a lot of excitement I've had for the service, one user said, adding, I'm really not excited because there simply doesn't seem to be anything to be excited about anymore. I feel like it's died already. Another wrote, and you know, we're actually just gonna go to it real quick because I think this was the post right here. But yeah, so we're gonna look at this real quick, but let me first start with the fact that I have been blindly in support of Stadia since it first launched. All my friends told me it would suck, it wouldn't amount to anything, not to waste my money, bought founders on day one of it being announced. I would do a Google search for Stadia almost daily at work just to see the news or new news articles about it. Fast forward to arrival day, so excited. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, of course, that horrible launch when it comes to getting people keys and everything else and the stuff they need to actually use it. That was... oh, that was... Anyway, once I finally got my key, threw it all together and played the hell out of it. I was having a blast, played at home, in my bedroom, at work, at the in-laws, wherever I could. I tried to show it off to everyone, all the doubters out there. They would want me to show them all the cool stuff it could do. Then started the excuses. Oh yeah, the controller will be wireless eventually. Oh yeah, only Pixel phones work for it right now. Oh yeah, 4K will be supported eventually. It's on the game's developers, not Stadia, to make that happen. Yeah. Anyway, it would ask people to try it out, and I only had 2 buddy passes. Nobody really cared after looking at it. It was gimmicky, and nobody thought it as an amazing new thing. Fast forward today, it feels like it's dead already. Check my very first video on this about how Google Stadia could be dead on arrival. And I check daily on here: Stadia Store, news stories, Ghost Town. For anyone that might, or for anyone that's been around for a new gaming console coming out. It's not a gaming console, people. Remember, not a gaming console, even though you get a little dongle, that's not a console. Anyway, it's nitpicky, I'm sorry. It's crazy for the first year of it coming out. I'm only nitpicking because it keeps being referred to a console. It's being referred to not as a console. It's referred to as platform. It's referred not to as a platform by so many different people. Nobody can keep it straight. What is it? Anyway, it's a storefront, a digital storefront only, and anyway. Year of it coming out, huge lineup of games constantly being thrown out, this feature, that feature, all being announced, so much fun. Here I am trying to justify the $130 I spent on this, and I just can't at this point. We got tricked into being beta testers, and it pisses me off. What I've been saying since day one. Some may not care, but personally, if I knew that this was what I was getting as a founder, I would have saved my money for when it came out for everyone else for free. At least maybe by then the features we were promised would be released. That, or it would have died already, and I didn't waste my money. Controller is being put away, subscription is being canceled, and I am forgetting about it until I hear we are out of the beta and we're given what we were promised, which is probably going to be a while. Yeah, there's going to be a free version, by the way, of course. If you didn't hear about it, you know, it will have its own little app or whatever at some point. Should have probably launched with that, so you can do that. But things like 4K and stuff, those are premium features, which of course, you know, require you to pay money for, on top of pay for each individual game and all this other stuff, which, you know, aren't exactly at the sale prices that they could be on Steam or Epic or at Walmart. Heck, there was one game, and I can't remember which one it was now, but on Google Stadia, I think it's $59.99 when I was looking at it. And at Walmart, the day one edition is still on in the $20 or less bin for like $19.99 for that particular game. Yeah. Anyway, I'd rather go to Walmart at that point, and I despise Walmart. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments below. Did you buy Stadia? How do you enjoy it? That's something I actually do want to know. Would love to hear from somebody who was legitimately enjoying this, who doesn't, you know, want to make excuses for anything, and, you know, say this has been working for me. You know, this kind of service, like I said earlier in this video, you know, I kind of wouldn't mind having, but it has its issues, of course. You know, but that's just me. Let me know down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.